Planning a trip to the US, like the 77.7 million international tourists in 2023, this video is made for you. From iconic landmarks and diverse cultures to endless shopping, entertainment, and outdoor adventures, there's something for everyone. One of the world's superpower countries, America is the land of opportunities. But before you set off to the land of Coke and cheeseburgers, it's important to know the do's and don'ts. We've rounded up a list of things you should steer clear of during your visit to make sure your trip is absolutely unforgettable. Now, before we jump into this video, how about you give this video a like and subscribe to our channel? Let's get started with number 18. Don't violate personal spaces. Americans take their personal space seriously. It's their own little comfort zone. So when you're around them, make sure to give them their space. It's okay to hug family or friends, but touching or tapping strangers is off limits. If you need to ask something, just say "excuse me" and you're good to go. Number 17. Don't discuss sensitive topics. Unless you're looking for an argument, it's best to avoid talking about religion, race, and politics. Navigating sensitive topics in America is not easy. People have all sorts of opinions, and sometimes things can get heated. It's important to have tough conversations, but let's be careful not to start unnecessary fights and conflicts. Instead, try to keep the conversation as neutral as possible. Talk about the weather, or discuss favorite sports teams, recent games, or personal fitness goals and achievements. Number 16. Don't smoke in public places. Americans believe everyone deserves clean air. It's a basic part of their culture, so you'll find a bunch of places in the States where smoking is prohibited. Many offices and places are going smoke-free too, all to keep the air clean. If you're used to puffing away in your home country, you might want to hold your cravings to light up a cigarette while you're in the United States. Getting caught lighting up could land you in some trouble. Number 15. Don't be late. You need to avoid being late for appointments or meetings. Just as it's important to refrain from smoking in public places here, punctuality is highly valued in American culture. Arriving on time shows respect for others' schedules and demonstrates professionalism. Therefore, it's important to prioritize punctuality in various aspects of daily life here. Number 14. Don't stop for too long. The cities in America never sleep, so if you're in a densely populated and busy area such as Times Square, avoid stopping for too long. The city is always moving, so you should be too. Apart from that, avoid stopping abruptly in crowded places, otherwise you will be creating circumstances for people to crash into, and you do not want that. Number 13. Don't cut in line. In many parts of the world, people only consider lines as something individuals do only out of courtesy to one another. This isn't the case in the States, though. Lines are taken very seriously here. There's a strong expectation for everyone to maintain their place in line once they've joined it. If you attempt to cut in line, you're likely to encounter disapproval from people around you. Number 12. Don't assume prices. Unlike other countries, America has sales tax which is not included in the sticker price, so don't assume that the sticker price is the final price. If you see something that's $1, it's actually going to cost you more than $1. A percentage of tax will be added to it, and this percentage differs from city to city. In fact, some cities and some products don't even have sales taxes, so it all depends on where you're traveling to or what you're buying. This leads us to the next don't. Number 11. Don't forget to tip. In the US, 15 to 20% is the average tip at a dine-in restaurant. If you tip lower for bad service or don't tip at all, just make sure you never go back there again. The reason? They will remember you for what you did, or should I say didn't. Whenever you eat out in any part of the country, the food will undoubtedly be more expensive than you expect. But you also need to keep in mind that your servers are not being paid minimum wage because they are expected to earn tips and match up the difference from there. Number 10. Don't forget your ID. The US is pretty strict about IDs, so unless you look like you're 60, make sure to carry your ID along wherever you go. They're definitely going to ask for it when you're buying alcohol or a pack of cigarettes. You would also have to show it if you want to enter the club. If you're out with a group of friends and you're buying alcohol, the cashier might ask for everyone's IDs, even if they're not the ones grabbing it or paying for it. And in case even one of the group members cannot prove their age, the cashier won't sell it to you. Don't be offended by this though, because if they don't do it, they might get in trouble. Number 9. Don't leave your belongings unattended. Whether you're in a busy airport, a crowded tourist attraction, or a bustling city street, always keep a close eye on your belongings. Leaving your bags unattended could bring up a number of concerns. Unattended baggage can cause suspicion and security issues in crowded public areas. This could result in evacuation protocols or possibly the involvement of law authorities. Plus, bags that are left unattended are at huge risk of theft. Some sneaky people may take advantage of the opportunity and try to steal them. Number 8. Don't use the metric system. In America, it's inches, feet, miles, pounds, gallons. Make sure you know the imperial system, otherwise you might be subject to confusion and get the calculations wrong. Distance is measured in miles, not kilometers. Petrol and diesel is measured in gallons, not liters, and so on. Number 7. Don't play with a stranger's kid. It's a reality check, but interacting with strangers' children isn't acceptable in the States. You need to avoid initiating conversation or engaging with children you don't know. If a child approaches you or seems interested in playing, politely ask about the whereabouts of their parents. If you simply want to be friendly and interact with a kid, ask for their parents' permission first. Make it clear that you're just playing around. In today's world, safety is a top priority, especially when it comes to interactions between strangers and children. Number 6. Don't insult the flag. Under no circumstances should you insult the flag. Americans really hold their flag in high regard, so if you're used to a more casual approach in your home country, be mindful of this cultural difference when discussing the US flag. Regardless of personal opinions, it's crucial to respect this aspect of American culture and avoid causing offense. In fact, visitors should steer clear of discussions about the flag entirely to prevent unintentionally causing discomfort or friction. Number 5. Don't move after being pulled over. Here's a tip for when you're in the States. If you ever get pulled over by a cop, don't do anything sudden or try to step out of your car. Just stay calm and follow their instructions. Even if you believe it's harmless, any sudden actions may be perceived as confrontational by the officer. Remember, they have no way of knowing you're a tourist from another country. They're trained to be cautious as they deal with potentially hazardous situations on a daily basis. They're just doing their job. Number 4. Don't honk a car. We get it. Sometimes you need to remind drivers to pay attention and avoid accidents. But here's the thing. In the US, people aren't too keen on constant horn honking. It's usually seen as more of an annoyance than a helpful reminder. Blasting your horn can really throw people off and mess with their focus, even if they weren't doing anything too crazy. So when you're driving in the US, think twice before laying on the horn. It's better to play it safe and avoid any unnecessary tension with other drivers. Number 3. Don't travel without a seatbelt. Speaking of road rules, always remember to fasten your seatbelts. Frankly, this advice holds true no matter where you travel, as it's fundamental to ensuring safety on the road. We understand that customs vary around the world, and in some places, wearing seatbelts in the back seat might not be the norm. However, in the US, it's a legal requirement to wear seatbelts at all times while traveling in a vehicle. While it may seem unnecessary to some, it's a measure put in place to protect everyone's well-being. So rather than grumbling about it, simply comply with the law and prioritize your safety when traveling in the US. Number 2. Don't use your phone while driving. As we just pointed out, this is also a fundamental aspect of safe travel. While you might observe others using their phones behind the wheel, it's crucial to understand that this is illegal and extremely dangerous. Avoid the temptation to engage with your phone while driving to prevent potential consequences. Regardless of the norms in your home country, in the US, using your phone while driving is taken very seriously and can lead to catastrophic consequences. Number 1. Don't underestimate the size of the United States. Many visitors arrive with the misconception that America solely comprises New York City, Los Angeles, and perhaps, on a more optimistic note, Las Vegas. However, they're often taken aback by the sheer size of the country once they embark on a road trip. The distances here are massive, so you cannot cover too many regions on a 2-week-long vacation. The food, culture, heritage, everything differs from one state to another. It's best to pick a region and explore it to the fullest. Otherwise, you will be spending a major part of your vacation on the road. So, those were some of the don'ts we have for when you're visiting America. Comment down below to let us know the don'ts for travelers visiting your country. And this is the end of our video. If you liked traveling to the United States of America, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. That way we'll book you a passenger seat on our upcoming video travels. In the meantime, check out this cool video right here.